What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review season 3, episode 2 of Power Book 2 Ghosts, also known as Big Rich Town. That's my show right there. I love this show. And this is season 3, episode 2. The episode is titled Need versus Greed. And it was a good one. It's a good one. But before I get into that, I got to give a shout out to my lovely subscribers that hold me down in the comment section. And because of you lovely subscribers, you got this channel going and growing. We went from I had 5 subscribers, y'all. It was depressing. To now I have 1,040 or something like that. So keep it going. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Engage with me. I love that. I love that. So anyway, let's give a shout out to my lovely subscribers, the ones that are holding me down in the comment section for this show. You're watching this show with me. I'm talking about folks like Kryptonian Black. I'm talking about folks like Lamont Simpson. We have a new one that I haven't seen before. Ivoriani. I hope I'm saying your name correct. You'll correct me if I pronounced it wrong, but welcome to you. The R.C. Kroger. I think I said Kryptonian Black already. Savannah Rivers Amore. TySings World. June BOC. Teef. All of you lovely people. Thank you for holding me down, keeping me going in the comment section. All the rest of you lovely people that have been leaving comments, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Now let's get down to this episode. Lauren is alive. Was that not crazy? When we saw her at the end of last week's episode, now this week we get to see her. She's having the conversation with Sullivan, right? And Lauren, we find out what happened. Y'all remember Effie decked her in the face, they put her in the car, and they drove her down into the river. We thought that was it. We thought that Effie went to go see the king. But Effie is still on this side of the earth. She's still alive. And so we learned what happened. See, what had happened was, when he went into the water, there was a guy walking his dog, and he noticed the car. Luckily, he came just in time, a guardian angel, and he was able to call the authorities, and they got her out just in time. And then now Sullivan is faking her death. Sullivan is faking Lauren's death. But Lauren is like, when can I go home and see my mother and my father? Lauren, this is serious. You could be in some danger. So Sullivan is telling her, listen, you don't know what you up against. We got to keep you dead to protect you and your family. So you got to be dead for right now, sweetheart. You got to be dead. Don't worry about that. This is what it is. There's no, bringing you back. No, you got to be dead. We got to keep you safe. And so Lauren tells her, listen, I already told you who did this, man. It was Effie. Effie did it, and so did and Braden. She says that we don't have no proof. We don't have no evidence. She's like, I remember that. She said, you're not too we got to get a stronger case. Because, Sullivan is trying to build her little Rico case, and she want to take down Tariq. But here's the thing. Effie still has feelings. Not Effie, I'm sorry. Lauren still has feelings for Tariq. And so she's like, I didn't see him involved in this. He had nothing to do with this. And he didn't, which is crazy, which brings me to how is all this going to come about? Because it's all going to come about when Tariq finds out that Effie and Braden had everything to do this. Which brings me, let's move on down to them. So they're all in cahoots. They working with, what's the name? The lady named the beautiful chocolate sister, Nomi. They're working with her. They got to move this weight. Her sidekick don't like them and is waiting for them to mess up so he can kill them. So they got to figure out how to move this weight. Braden comes up with the bright idea. Hey, why don't we take it over to the law firm and we could sell it there? I'm with Tariq. Tariq is like, are you dumb? That's crazy. We can't do nothing like that. That's sick because, listen, you're the one with the rich family that can get away with all these things. I'm already under the scrutiny. And don't you realize you just got in trouble for selling drugs? Are you stupid? We can't do this. So he's like, we can't do this. I'm not doing that. You got to be crazy. So while that is happening, we also see in this episode, Tariq is trying to get his internship, and he goes to Tate's, and he finds out that Tate has another intern, and that intern is, what's her name? Shamika, I think that's her name. Played by light skinned Keisha. That's the artist that plays that character. I like that character, by the way. I love her so much I should know her name, right? I think it's Shamika or Shaniqua or something like that. Anyway, she's the intern. This pisses Tariq off because he's like, damn, I messed up here. And we saw in that episode, we saw that Tate is in a bit of a pickle. His poll numbers are down, so he got to bring himself up, and he's got to get some stuff going to get him up higher in the poll so he can win. You know what I'm saying? And get in there. So he tells what's his name, look, it's just business. This looks better for me. But we later find out what really went down. Braden kind of helped with that, and you see him paying off Tate. So anyway, Braden comes up with this idea when he learns that Tariq has lost his internship. Why don't you come on and intern at the law firm? And it's like, nah. And I was like, nah, that's stupid. And the first thing I said was, how is that going to work? That's going to be completely stupid, and there's no way that's realistic. And I'm like, how's that going to work? But then but I was agreeing with Tariq when he said, we're not going to do no drugs over there. We're not going to sell no drugs, none of that. We're going to be strictly clean. But he did agree. He said, I'm going to come over there because what happened, we saw in this episode, Braden got him a little crush on a little chocolate sister over there. What's her name? Key? Did I write her name down? What's the young lady's name? I believe it's Kiki. But Braden has a little thing for her, and so he's seeing where one of the other interns that's there, a little rich kid that ain't listening, sleeping on the job, basically made a little slur called her Amorosa, which, being a little slick. And so she mentioned something about him being a good old boy and probably in the tiki club. So what does Braden do? Braden sets this young man up, gets him removed from the building for being a part of the good old boys. And, he set him up, had the tiki torch and all that. The guy said it wasn't his stuff. And he said, I'll be back for revenge. And he just might. You know how this show do. They like to do things like that. They bring characters back and, lots of twists and turns. So because of that, now there's an internship open. And that internship is open. And so Braden's like, listen, Tariq, you can take the internship. Tariq is like, are you crazy? Your father wouldn't want me there. And he's right. But Braden pulls some strings, brings Tariq in, and I was like, come on, this is ridiculous. How did this happen? And when he does that, Braden's father loses it. But then they say to him, they says, listen, you just kicked somebody out of here due to racism. You kicked him out. Now you're judging Tariq because he black, and your son was the drug dealer. This is what Braden's uncle says to him. Your son was the drug dealer, and now, but he's wrong. They're both drug dealers. But now you want to fault the black guy who was working with him. But I mean, this would be good to have inclusivity and all this other stuff. Now here's the crazy thing with all of that. The Kiki, I believe that's her name. Now you all hot and bothered for Braden because he got somebody removed. That's all. He got somebody fired for you. Now you giving him up some on the secret floor. I said, now he got a little jungle fever romance going on. I said, that's interesting. Let's see how far that's going to go. And why do I think she going to end up messing with Tariq? I don't know why. I just feel like that. I just feel like she going to mess up. But anyway, Tariq is in there now. And then you also see Braden getting Kiki to have Tariq set up the table so Tariq can meet all those other guys. And then they're snorting coke and going wild. And then they go to a party. And so now Tariq sees how all this is run. And then he learns that one of the personal trainers that works there, whatever, he's the one funneling all the coke for them. And he's like, aha, maybe we can do our business in here and get in this firm and all these other corporate things. Maybe we can run it through here because all of them are a bunch of cokeheads. And so now he's on board. So now because of that, they got to find a way to get rid of the other guy. And what they do is they were supposed to get Kane to do it, but Kane was busy. Let me tell you why Kane was busy. Kane is busy because in this episode, he's trying to sway his father and convince his father that we need, Lorenzo, that we need to go into business. And his father's like, no. But the father's causing a little diversion because the father, Lorenzo, is like, no, you need to help me find the killer of Zeke. Oh, so help us find you? Because you're the killer. And he's like, that's what we got to do. He's just trying to manipulate Kane. And I trust Drew and Drew this and Drew that. So in this episode, we see Drew get attacked by the Guapos people. And then, he gets hurt. And then he's like, you got to find out who did that to him. And they're probably the ones that set up, he said, they're probably the ones that set up and killed Zeke and all this. So Lorenzo's trying to get it all off him. So he's trying to get Kane to do all this dirty work. We see Kane roughing up people, using blow torches on people to get them to tell the truth. And they're telling him what they saw when poor Zeke was killed. And it fits the description of his daddy. It fits the description of um, of Kane's daddy, his father, which because he's the one who killed him. So anyway, we get all that. So that's why Kane is busy. Kane is too busy doing that, so he cannot help with them trying to take out this personal trainer. But then we go over to his brother Drew, who's in love with the basketball player, and the basketball player wanted him to come out to this event of his. You know, this is a career-changing thing, but the basketball player is still in the closet. He's still in the closet. And he's like, listen, we got to do this one step at a time. I just can't come out just yet, but I need you here for me, whatever, whatever. Of course, Drew gets attacked, so he wasn't able to come. But then when he does try to meet up with his little boyfriend, the boyfriend is like, I don't want no parts of you. Everett, that's his name, Everett. Everett is like, I don't want no parts of you. You didn't show up. Dude, you see his face? Drew's face is all beat up from when he got attacked. But he's like, I don't want no parts of you, this, that, and the third. So that's how Braden and Tariq were able to get Drew to help them in taking out the personal trainer. Because now because, Drew's upset already, and Kane is busy. Kane is busy seeking revenge for Drew and got that guap guy and all that. So that's when Drew goes over and, it's so crazy. They set Tariq up to have the personal training session. Then after the session, you see Drew looking on mean mug. I'm like, how you gonna kill this dude? Homeboy pushes him in front of a truck. So now this makes room for Braden and Tariq's operation to now move into the law firm. Very good stuff, very interesting stuff. Now let's slide on back over here to, let's talk about what we're gonna slide on and talk about. We're going to go into this whole thing with Monet. The detective is on her. He's on her heels. He's like, I know you had something to do with Carrie's killing. I'm tying it all together. And he's trying to take her down. Monet is pissed off about that. We also see Sachs finding out that Monet and McLean are working together. So there's a lot of things going on. And you have Sullivan trying to get her RICO thing off the ground. And that's where they're putting all the pieces together. And they see that, listen, this is what happened. Because, that detective that's been bothering Monet, he's not supposed to really be bothering her. But he's bothering her. Sullivan calls him over. She's like, listen, you got to stop this. But he's like, I have some evidence that could help us. And he's tying it all together. He said, Tariq is not the main one. It's this Tejada chick, Monet. She was sleeping with that cop, this, that. This is how all of this ties in. So they're trying to build a RICO case on him. Very interesting stuff. Another thing I wanted to point out tonight. Diana's in school. Diana got this Balenciaga bag, but she can't afford the books for school. And she gets put on, told her, the friend tells her, and the classmate tells her, I think it was Effie that told, you could talk to the teacher's assistant and he can help you out. Now, I think Diana and that teacher's assistant going to end up having a romance. That's just me. That's what I think is going to happen. But anyway, he takes her to the school, it looks like the campus store, and tells her, look, you can work here and you can get free candy and you can pay for your books here. But while they're in there, Tariq walks in with Effie. That makes Diana feel a certain kind of way. So she kind of hides, saying she's going to put on the uniform. She's kind of hiding because she's a little, she's a little upset about that relationship. And I don't think she wants them to see her working in there or whatever. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting thing too. Just like this whole thing with the Braden, Effie, Tariq, and Lauren thing. That's going to be interesting how all that's going to play out, especially that Tariq doesn't know that Effie has something to do with that. That's all crazy right there. Such a good episode. But the highlight to me tonight, we see Kane doing what he's doing, was when they find this guy who's supposedly the guy who did attack Drew. And we find this guy, and now they're trying to pin this whole thing on him that he killed Zeke, but we know he didn't. And they find the ring on him and this, that, and the third. So we think it's all settled. Monet seems satisfied because she bust her shots off on the dude. Oh, let's clean up his body, this and that. She's falling for it. But look at Pete how Kane went up to his father and was like, "You think I'm stupid? You killed Zeke. You killed him." And he explained the whole thing, how the situation. First of all, your poker face when the guy said somebody hired him to attack Drew, and how would he know that Drew's the one who killed Guap? He said, "You did all that. You orchestrated all that." He said, "Plus, your Zeke never wore that ring. You probably took that out of the box that Monet is too distraught to go and look into." And I'm like, because Monet has been distraught. She's been distraught. Her friend came over to visit her. Evelyn came to visit her, tell her all this stuff about a cop snooping around and all that. And she said, good stuff, good stuff. So he said, "Listen," and the father says, "Listen, it was a mistake. I was going after Lorenzo to try to save my family." And Kane said, "You know what?" He hugged him. So I said, "Oh, but they're about the bond." He said, "No, you are weak. And you know what? I own you now. And as far as that supply, you're going to move it now." And that's where it was. And I was like, wow. So we seen this power shift and this whole thing going on. And that's going to be interesting. He's lost some respect for his father. But then he kind of has his father by the balls. But I'm like, will the father try to kill his own son? Who knows? We don't know. But it was a really good episode. That was crazy. He pretty much told his dad, "I own you now. Now you the son. I own you." So that was good. Tell me your thoughts on this episode. What did you like about this episode? What didn't you like? What did I miss? Explain it down below. I thought it was really good. Like I said, this show always has so many twists and turns. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Y'all like my shirt? Let me lift it up a little bit. Y'all like that? It's nice, right? Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video.